Welcome to this calm introduction to the Visuino Component Builder. We are not starting from a blank technical project. Instead, we will use one small real component that already exists in an Arduino library. That gives us something clear to look at, and it keeps the first lesson practical. The builder begins with the normal Arduino libraries folder on the computer. Think of this as a bookshelf of components that are already available for inspection. Browsing here is read-only. You can look through a library, select a component, and understand how it is arranged without changing the installed files. In this example, the library is called FinnVis, and the selected component is the FinnVis digital inverter. The builder shows the real visual component definition, often written as a .vcomp file. You do not need to memorize its detailed structure at this stage. The useful point is simply that this file describes how the component is presented inside Visuino. Every component also needs a visual identity that is easy to recognize on screen. Here we can see the installed FinnVis icon that belongs with the existing component. This is evidence from the read-only library. Looking at it helps us connect a component's name, pins, and appearance before we create any local draft material. When you want a safe working copy, choose Open as Draft. The builder opens the existing FinnVis digital inverter as a separate draft while leaving the original library untouched. Notice the clear display name and the component details. This is a good habit for beginners. Inspect first, then work in a separate local draft. Now look at the pin layout. This simple real component has one digital input on the left and one digital output on the right. The input is where a signal comes in. The output is where the component passes its result onward. The ordered pin list and the approximate preview work together, so the layout stays easy to read without needing a complicated drawing. An icon can begin as an ordinary image. In this example, a simple signal switch image is imported into the builder's icon designer. The designer scales it onto a 32 by 32 grid. That small grid is useful because the icon needs to stay clear even when it is shown at a compact size beside other Visuino components. After checking the image, save it to local staging. Staging is simply a separate work area for material you are preparing. It lets you keep the new icon with the draft while the original Arduino library remains read-only. At this point, the video shows a locally staged icon, not a new installed library icon. If you would like help while learning, the shared Visuino Component Builder Guide is optional. It is an online helper, not a hidden automatic step in the builder. You can open the guide when you want a plain language explanation, then return to the builder and continue reviewing your own draft at your own pace. A good first question can be very simple. For example, what does one input and one output mean for this component? Starting with a small question makes it easier to understand the visible pin layout before moving into more detailed terms. The question is shown ready to send. The builder itself does not send it. The builder can also copy a path-free handoff for the selected draft. This summary gives the guide the component name, the ordered pins, and the validation state, in a form that is easier to discuss. It is proposal only. It does not write code, compile anything, install a component, or move a response back into the builder automatically. Before you take any later step, use Preview and Validate. Preview lets you inspect the draft as a whole. Validate checks the draft for blocking problems. Here the real FinnVis draft reports that it passed with no blocking errors. That is a useful review point, not proof that a new component has been compiled, installed, or loaded in Visuino. When you are satisfied with what you see, save the component draft to local staging. The builder records the draft and its local review information in that separate area. The important boundary remains visible. The installed Arduino libraries are unchanged. Local staging is a way to prepare and review your work without silently replacing an existing component. That is the complete beginner workflow shown in this video. Browse a real component. Keep the layout simple. Use a clear small icon. Ask for optional guidance when you need it. Preview and validate before you save a local stage draft. Take later implementation, compilation, installation, or publishing steps only when you have separately reviewed and authorized them.